Hello and welcome to Young Adult Matters. I'm Miguel Santos and I'm very happy to be here today with Amy, Joe, and our special guest, Ms. Lydia Pesina. Welcome all of you to the show.
Well,
Thank you.
And today we're going to have a very special show on cohabitation. But before we get started, I want to check in with you guys. What have you been up to since last time we recorded?
Well, you know, we've been busy, keeping busy there with campus ministry at UTPA. You know, like we've mentioned before, it's a center for the students from UTPA to hang out. So it's been very good to see some of the students come to Mass. We're packing the chapel. We're packing our chapel when we have Mass at the Newman Center. They're right across the street from Amelia Junior Hall, real close to the university. So just busy with that and happy to be here with you guys and everybody here.
Awesome. And Amy?
I finished with my midterm, so I'm really excited to have that stress off my shoulder. Almost done for graduation, so I'm really, really excited. But I'm pretty much working on the CM website, working on the Facebook and the Twitter. So guys, if you're out there, follow us, like us on Facebook, and check out our website. We have events coming up. Everything's on there. The Year of Faith ideas, if you don't know what to do, it's on there as well. So that would be the best place to look for us. Like on top, CYAM.net. But I'm sure you can see it at the bottom of the screen during the show. So.
Fantastic. And our special guest today, Lydia Pesina, is the director of the Family Life Office for the Diocese of Brownsville. Lydia, will you share with us a little about your work?
Very much so. I'd be happy to. With the Family Life Office, a big part of our work does end up being marriage preparation, although we have different areas of ministry for parenting, education, mother-daughter program, father-son, a variety of things. But one of the areas that in the last several years we've really tried to do a little bit more concentration besides immediate marriage preparation is what we call proximate marriage preparation. And that's where we've been able to really network with, you know, your office for young adult ministry as well as for the campus ministries, because so much of what we do at marriage preparation hinges on, you know, how well informed or how prepared or how much formation have we been able to offer to young adults before they decide to get married. So it's an exciting part, I think, of the ministry.
I know you've taught a program before, how to avoid marrying a jerk or jerkette.
Exactly, and it's one of my favorite things to do. Because it really
Not marrying, right?
No, I did not marry a jerk. I have a wonderful husband for 38 years. And even though the title is catchy, it's really an excellent program, very research-based, that helps singles look at what does it take to have healthy marriages once they do marry. And it gives us an opportunity to put it in the context not just of marriage, but of sacramental marriage. You know, what makes a marriage a sacrament? What does the church teach about, you know, the essential elements of a sacramental marriage, that it has to be free, faithful, fruitful forever. And that kind of ties into what we're talking about today.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
you know, being that we offer it there at the Newman Center, I've been able to see and to hear the students how they say that it's a great program that they like. It's a fun. The instructors have been very good, very engaging, but also because it helps them not only in their relationships for their future husband or future wife, but also forging good relationships, good friendships, and relationships with other people that, you know, they're at campus ministry, that helps them when they go out into the world after they graduate, to networking and to just, you know, forming real relationships that can help them in the workplace, but especially when it transitions into the marriage. And so it's, you know, that's good work. That's a great program that
indeed
offers, yeah.
And what a great segue to today's topic. Today we will be talking about cohabitation, and Lydia will also be our guest speaker, our presenter, for the next Theology on Tap. And we want to invite everyone, if you've not been to a Theology on Tap, it's a gathering of young adults to learn topics that have to do with the faith, but in the setting of a local pub. And it's very relaxing. We have live music, great food, great people, and a very powerful message. And Lydia will be presenting cohabitation. What's the big deal? And that's the topic of our next Theology on Tap, November 5th. It's happening in Harlingen at Oxygen Bar. So after my commercial, let's get on with the cohabitation. Basically, a couple that is living together in a sexual relationship without marriage.
Yeah. Correct.
What else comes to mind when you hear that word?
I think for me it was just that, like, you're living together, but I guess without the, if you want to call it, official commitment. At any time that I want to, I can get out because I'm not dedicated to this girl or this boy. I mean, it's a very immature relationship. That's the way that I see it. Like, these people don't have some form of dedication to each other. Because you know what? Ya no quiero estar con ella, mejor me voy a ir.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to, like, without having to go through the paperwork, take off my ring, and doing all that.
And
So.
I think like what a lot of times happens is that it's a tryout. You know, it's let me just see if it works out. You know, but the sacrament of marriage and or just simply the person that you're with. For example, if I'm cohabitating with my girlfriend at the time, you know, she's not a car, and I mean she's a child of God, and we need to see that in the person that we're going to say, hey, you know what? You're important enough for me to live with you and to have sex with you, but not enough to respect you as a child of God. And so when I hear cohabitation, or I know of couples that are cohabitating, you know, I think like if they're important enough for you to wake up with them, go to bed with them, cook for them, and help each other out, then they're important enough for you to have that relationship and that connection with God being Christ-centered, not just a test run that, like you said, no commitments. Oh, well, I can just leave it at the dealership if I want to, and then that's it. But even when you do that, you know, if a car with a lease and then you take it back, it affects your credit. And I think, you know, if you do that with your marriage, or when you're, you know, living in cohabitation,
it affects your spiritual credit.
Exactly. And so there's just, I don't know. I like what you were saying. You know, that it's an immature relationship, like.
And I think it's really important to hear it from you all that are that age, because I come from a different era. And I know in looking at some of the statistics, in 1974, when we got married, from 65 to 74, 11% of the U.S. population were cohabitating. Fast forward now, you know, 38 years later, which is how long my husband and I have been married, the percentage is anywhere from 60 to 80%.
60 to 80.
80%.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. In the 70s, 11%. Today, 60 to 80%.
And
wow.
So we put what you all were saying, and I really appreciate your insights, because you're looking at it from the perspective of, you know, what does our faith teach? And I'm not saying the people who are in a cohabitating situation aren't, but they're also part of much bigger sociological reality, which is, I think, a big part of why it's so important for us to look at the whole sociological phenomenon, because it is a phenomenon. It's the biggest sociological change in this country in the last 25 years. So it's really important for us to say, where did it come from, or what are the underlying factors that have brought us to where we are today, and how do we look at cohabitation in a way that's going to be meaningful. And so we're going to talk in a little bit, I know, about some of the reasons that couples are in cohabitating situations, but the reality is that it's here.
Yeah.
And it is indeed a very palpable reality. It is, you know, it's undeniable. And we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about what are the reasons why young adults today shy away from marriage and maybe enter in this cohabitating arrangement. Alrighty, so stay with us. We will be back shortly. You're watching Young Adult Matters.